The sound of the judge's gavel in a Toronto courtroom didn't feel like justice. It sounded like a gunshot. At 46, I wasn't just losing a husband. I was losing my home in Oakville, my dignity, and the last name I had built as a marketing director over 2 decades. Mark kept everything. His lawyers moved faster. And me? I walked out of that room with a carry-on suitcase, and the cold silence of an Ontario winter waiting for me on the sidewalk. My life used to smell like expensive coffee and echo with the sound of heels on marble floors along Bay Street. I was Sarah Miller. The woman who never failed. Our house overlooked the lake, charity dinners, a life planned down to the smallest detail. I believed success was a shield against pain. But shields break. The divorce came with an aggressive non-compete clause and a smear campaign that shut every corporate door in my face. Within 6 months, my savings disappeared into legal fees. Toronto's Iron Woman was melting under the snow. I ended up in a small rented studio in Hamilton. The walls were stained with damp, and the heater made a constant, agonizing noise. I avoided mirrors. The woman staring back at me was a stranger with hollow eyes. I was alone. My elite friends vanished along with the party invitations. One Tuesday afternoon, at a Tim Hortons near the station, I witnessed something that changed everything. A young woman, maybe 19, was trying to count coins to pay for a hot chocolate for her little boy. She was shaking. The manager snapped, "Either you pay, or you leave." I had almost nothing left, but I handed over my $5 bill. She looked at me with a kind of gratitude I had never received in 10 years of corporate bonuses. Her name was Maya. She was running from an overcrowded shelter. In that moment, I saw my own reflection in her vulnerability. I wasn't the only one who had fallen. I decided I wouldn't go back to marketing. I used my last $1,000 to rent a tiny, industrial space in a forgotten part of Hamilton. I started Second Chance Kitchen. I cooked real meals for women in transition, using what I knew about logistics to build a donation network with local producers from Niagara. There were nights I cried over bags of flour. The physical exhaustion was brutal. Mark called me once, laughing, saying I had become a charity cook. I hung up. I wasn't just cooking. I was stitching my soul back together. Today, Second Chance Kitchen is a model across Ontario. We hire only women over 40 who have lost everything. We're not a charity, we're a force of resilience. I no longer live by the lake. But when I walk through the streets of Hamilton, people know who I am. Not because of my bank account, but because of what I helped rebuild. The divorce wasn't my end. It was the day Sarah Miller finally woke up. If you're in your darkest moment today, remember this: the most fertile ground is the one that's been turned over by the storm.